Now. All right. 3,
Fucking
2, 1. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sunday edition of the Friday Evening Podcast. I'm joined by my colleague, associate, partner,
co-host,
Drew.
Hello, Jack.
Hello. God damn.
Hello, world.
Hello, world.
I saw a man today.
When was this? What's that a reference to now?
It's not. I was just saying I saw a man today.
What? Describe this man.
This man wore spectacles.
Okay.
And they were horn-rimmed spectacles, mind you.
Oh shit.
And
that's
he looked very stern at me. He was sitting at a table across from me as I had brunch today.
What?
Actually, okay, so what I had I did have brunch today.
All right, we're getting into this.
I went to this one place called Oi.
Oi!
O-Y.
Oi!
And it was a breakfast place. And their like tagline was overindulgent pastries or snacks or something like that.
Overindulgent pastries.
Yeah, why I say that. So it's like breakfast, brunch, and lunch.
I thought its tagline would be "Vey." Thank you.
Jewish. But what they had, what their specialty was, I guess, was pancakes. And so the small pancake was a 7-inch pancake, which is like the size of a plate.
I was about to say 7 inches.
Their monster pancakes were 14 inches.
Hell yeah! Is this radius or diameter?
I think diameter.
Diameter. Okay.
And fucking 14. Whoa. Wow. But anyway, it's like those pancakes. If you wanted to bring them home, they brought out pizza boxes for you.
Yeah, they did.
These huge fucking pancakes. And my sister was with me, and she's kind of a health nut. She felt ill going to this place. Like she went there and she like started the 7-inch one.
We're weeding out the weaklings. Yeah, we're weeding out the health nuts.
I mean, to me, I think as much food as possible is a good thing because fuck it, you're gonna be fat if you want to be fat,
That's true,
and
you
shouldn't be afraid of food. Food never does anything to you.
It could kill
Just
people with
eat what the
peanut
fuck
allergies.
you want to eat.
Peanut allergies, you could die from it.
Well, that's
Touche.
But then you're also not eating good things like
That's true.
peanuts.
I mean, there's the great Louis C.K. bit, which is like, if everybody with peanut allergies would just close their eyes for a year, then we would have no more peanut allergies. And he thinks we should do that. He thinks we should exterminate all the people.
I mean, we do have overpopulation. It's a serious issue right now.
It's like 7 billion. What's the current population of the Earth? 7 billion?
7 billion was the last milestone we
7
passed.
billion. Woo! We hit 7 billion.
That was like a year or two ago, Jack.
Yeah, that's old news.
We're probably going to get to 8 million at a exponentially
8 million?
fast.
Oh, no.
Or billions.
Oh, Jesus.
So we're going to go back in
It's
time.
going to be a plague.
The next genocide. We called it here.
It's going to be a plague. Oh, my Lord.
So how's your day been, Jack?
It's been good. It's
on this lovely Palm Sunday.
Wow.
That's right. This is the Jesus section of the show.
This is the religious section.
God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above. So, what's your favorite Jesus?
My favorite Jesus? I could pull a Talladega Nights and and say that the baby Jesus is my favorite, but I also really kind of dislike what that movie does. So
that's not a great movie.
It's a fine movie because it came out in the Will Ferrell Renaissance, the Renaissance, the mid to late 2000s.
His prime.
Will Ferrell prime. That's Anchorman. That's Step Brothers. That's
Semi-Pro.
That's semi-pro. that's fucking that's Talladega Nights. The fucking ice skating one. The fucking
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory. He was coming out with so many good ones.
So many.
And man,
family favorites.
Talladega Nights, like, if you find it funny, it's okay. But my God, Talladega Nights, like,
it's overquoted.
It's overquoted, and as we reside in the South, Drew, there are plenty of people that we know that don't see it as a satire or making fun of the South. Well, if anything, they're proud of it.
We don't live in the part of the South that idolizes NASCAR.
That's true. That's true.
So
lucky.
So we can still kind of be like those fucking hicks, right?
Yeah, I was about to say we can still.
But there is a lot of It gets you right there.
where you just look at it and you go, oh.
I was like, that was Pappy last week.
Exactly. Just like, I don't know. There are a lot of people whom I associate myself with who do not really get that movie's making fun of Southern people.
Well, this last week I went up to Boston, and like
Freak.
when you you tell people like, "Oh, I'm from Atlanta" or "I'm from Georgia," and they go like, and for me because I don't have that Southern drawl, they went, "Oh, really?" Like they actually didn't. They couldn't tell. They thought I was like a Midwesterner, which kind of hurt me more personally. But
I remember this guy visited us who was like from Tennessee, who had like kind of a Southern drawl kind of thing, and he was like, "Where are y'all Southern accents?" And we're like, "Well, a bunch of privileged kids, so we can't really."
Died in Sherman, built down the city.
There you go. Like the Phoenix, we rose again. How I wish it's 2 points about the city of Atlanta where we are. One, the police logo is a goddamn phoenix. How cool is that? That's fun.
Well, yeah,
that's badass. Or is it the fire?
I think it's the. I know
it's Resurgence or whatever.
Something like that. All I know is that on the manhole covers in town, there's a phoenix on it.
I think it's
Atlanta itself.
I think it's the seal of Atlanta is like Resurgent, whatever. Also, how cool would it be? So Atlanta used to be called Terminus because it's where all the railroads met.
It was
the
end of the thing.
It was the end of the thing.
Walking Dead did a thing on that. They wasted it anyways.
Don't dead, open inside. But how cool would it be if the new MLS team that we have, the Atlanta United is what we're called, they almost called it Terminus FC. That would have been so
really
goddamn cool.
Like,
why did they not call it that?
Well, I don't really know what mascot you'd have for a Terminus.
For a Terminus?
Wait, what's our team now?
It's Atlanta United. But are we the Phoenixes?
I hope so.
That would be badass.
I think a phoenix is a really cool bird.
It's a cool bird. It's in Harry Potter.
I was watching this video today, and there's a lot of cool birds out there, Jack. Okay, the harpy eagle. Look that up. Gonna throw up that picture. I forget what the other ones were, but there was the secretary bird. It looks like a fucking Pokemon. It's sick. It's really cool, and apparently it kills snakes with its talons, and it's fucking awesome. There's a lot of cool. You're doing a really good bird noise, actually. But there's a lot of really cool, just fucking birds out there I didn't know about.
My mother's a bird watcher. We have an owl in our backyard.
Is it a barn owl?
We have a barred owl. Yeah, it's insane.
There's a lot of those around here.
The noise it makes is like. No, it's like. Oh shit! That might be it. I feel like that's it.
I made that up.
Okay, sure. There's. Hopefully nobody's hearing us from the hallway. What the fuck are they doing? No, owls can be actually spooky as fuck at night when they're making their noises and you don't know that there's an owl in your backyard.
Owls are cool, man.
Owls are cool. They can't turn their heads all the way around though. It's not the illusion. Yeah, it's an illusion that makes it look like it.
But still, that's fucking neat.
Yeah, it's neat.
They're the wisest of the bird family.
Apparently. Have you seen a picture of a featherless owl?
That sounds gross. That sounds gross.
Terrifying. Like demonic.
That's like, because you pluck chicken so you can cook them and stuff. I wouldn't want to see an owl. I wouldn't want to eat an owl, actually.
No, you don't. I mean, what? How
do all birds taste like chicken?
I was about to say, how does owl meat compare to, how does human meat compare?
Well, most birds, why we like chickens? Because they're fat, right?
Right.
It's because owls, they don't really have a lot of meat bones. They're all bones. They don't have a lot of meat on their body. So, I mean,
it's the opposite of what you meant.
I don't know. Do we eat any other kind of birds than chicken? Goose. But it's kind of weird and slime. Duck, that's it.
Duck as well.
So I guess they can taste different.
Pardon me. I've never had duck.
But I guess it's also you kind of cook it differently.
Yeah, I mean, if you can fry duck, I'm sure.
You can fry anything. You can fry fucking ice cream.
Twinkies.
Which I don't know why you do that, because you're melting ice cream and then it's just...
Fried ice cream. How the hell?
Yeah, you can fry...
Wouldn't it just melt?
So
immediately?
This might be completely wrong, but this one Indian fella I know, apparently there's this one Indian dish that you take the thing, you fry it,
right?
You fry it again,
yes.
You fry it again.
You've got me.
And then diabetes just comes in tow. No, but apparently it's something they eat somewhat commonly.
Regularly.
Yeah. So that's why there might be a lot of fat Indian people.
I suppose. Well, you've heard there's a great Aziz Ansari quote that's either like Indians are either really, really skinny, or every once in a while you'll get a fat one.
Yeah.
It's like seeing a shooting star, but it's fat, brown, and on the ground, which is just a delightful line.
Speaking of Aziz, I've been rewatching Parks and Rec.
Oh, really?
It's I mean, there was one day I watched, I think, 8 hours of that show. It's like fucking candy, dude. You can just keep plopping that. It's addicting. Like, it's a show. I think I love all the characters. I personally love it more than The Office. I'm sure pitchforks are coming at me right now. But
The Office is the most basic television show that's ever been created. Maybe How I Met Your Mother. No, Friend. Oh, God. I don't know which one.
Basic meaning like anybody can watch it, or like super like white.
No. Anybody can watch it, probably.
I would say The Office relies a lot on that awkward kind of like cringe humor, and for some people just can't do that.
Oh, really?
That's like my uncle. That turns him off on it.
I just feel like everybody's watched The Office.
Well, everybody's watched it because it always has these like good moments.
But I mean, everybody's watched all of The Office.
But I feel like Friends is one of those shows that. So told you life.
We're gonna stop.
But soon. Friends is too perfect. But Friends is. It's one of those shows that the laugh track doesn't get in the way for me, because I feel like the writing and the actors are funny enough that I'm okay. Try this next time you watch a sitcom.
Yeah.
Focus on the laughter. It will make you want to claw your eyes out because it's so annoying. Because every time you just hear like some editor put that in, it was like, nice. This is great. Now they know when to laugh.
You did a great job. I don't know. Well, that's because I mean the importance of the audience is extremely important in any media, right? So that makes it makes you feel like you're a part of that audience that is laughing.
To me, I just feel like some dumbass thought I wasn't stupid enough to know when to laugh.
Oh my God! Wow.
That's why I appreciate.
That's an opposing viewpoint.
I mean, that's why I like the mockumentary style of The Office, Parks and Rec, Modern Family. Modern
Family is very touching at some points. Modern Family is good.
When it was in its heyday, that was like the show because it was super funny and also like had gays. It had adopting people.
It's got divorce.
Didn't have interracial. They didn't have interracial.
Well, Sofia Vergara and the white guy from Married with Children.
Ed something. I don't know what his last name is. Ed. It's just Ed
Mooney. I don't know what his name. I don't know.
It's just Ed.
It's Ed.
Ed forever. The artist formerly known as Ed.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, this has been good banter, Jack. Let's spin a wheel.
Fucking wheel. What do you think it's going to be, Drew?
I don't know. Every time we open the wheel, it comes to porn, and I always get a little excited.
Oh, and you're like, yes!
But it's never...
When will we discuss porn on Palm Sunday? Will we discuss porn on Palm Sunday?
Well, here we go. We're not doing that. It's the last song I listened to on iTunes.
Oh, shit.
And I haven't used iTunes in years.
We've got another musical... I guess. I mean, let's try and ride this one out. See how long we can use.
Let's get it over with now, so we don't have to do it later.
Yeah, fuck all that. All right, how about most recently added? Most recently added music, because it does divide into that. I've got a whole cacophony of songs that I could just talk.
You go ahead and talk, because I got to figure out how to pull that shit up.
Okay, very well. So every once in a while I'll just make random ass playlists of mine. Like I'll make albums that don't actually exist, and I'll just make them into an album on iTunes and group it, and then put it on my phone because I want all these songs on it. Mm-hmm. So I made a little summer 2016 one, which is last year's summer. My prime. It's all rap.
What were the bangers in 2016?
It's literally all rap. That's the funny part. Let's see. We've got a song called Heaven Only Knows by a rapper named Tokyo. We've got Nobody Speak, which is a DJ Shadow song featuring Run the Jewels. We've got Wind in My Sails, which is a deep cut off of Earl Sweatshirt's SoundCloud. Then we got Hannah Montana by the Migos.
Oh, I thought you were going to have some...
No.
Good Hannah Montana.
We have Cartoon and Cereal, which is a great Kendrick Lamar song. We've got International Players Anthem, in parentheses, I Choose You, by UGK, featuring Outkast.
Quick question.
Quick cue.
Kendrick didn't release his new album yet, did he?
Not yet. He fucking...
Pussy?
That bastard. Okay.
Pussy?
Okay. He released a song called The Heart Part 4 several days ago. I want to say like a week ago. No, it might have been in March. It was more than a week ago.
I mean, I enjoyed that song. It was a lot.
It was great.
It was like three different songs.
Still made it on my playlist. Still love it.
It was good. Okay. Yeah.
So he releases that. He drops the final line of that song. I'm pretty sure the final bar of that song ends with "Y'all got till April 7th to get y'all shit together." Or paraphrasing, right?
Maybe he's just setting an arbitrary date. Jack, ever thought about that?
No. And that caused this huge Kendrick hype train, right? Like everybody was so excited for it, so excited. And then he drops the song Humble, which is this weird like trap Memphis style.
Do you like Humble?
Interesting. I personally love it because I think it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense with any of the music that he's made previously, but I think it'll fit into whatever fucking album he creates.
I thought the music video was fucking bonkers. It was cool.
The way too crazy. It's great.
The music was a little bit, it felt very kind of
basic,
the mainstream.
Really.
Yeah,
it
was
trap,
like,
and it's also like old, like Southern style.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not opposed to this, but it just didn't. It wasn't really.
It sounds like the unintelligent Mia Ma.
Yeah, exactly.
We get to it just sounds unintelligent.
Because I listened to Untitled Unmastered,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like it was like the B-sides. I guess
it goes to show that even Kendrick's B-sides can still be one of the best projects of the year.
It was like really interesting stuff. It's
great.
I think the second to last song on the album. I mean, they don't have titles, so
right. Have you heard the story of how that album basically got released? Like, so it was the beginning of, I believe,
WikiLeaks.
No.
Snowden.
No, it's not Snowden either, believe it or not. But I think it was at some point. So Kendrick is on this label called Top Dog Entertainment, or rather, he's like a member of this group called Top Dog Entertainment, along with a bunch of famous rappers. The head guy named Top Dog tweeted like a release schedule or something like that, like new Kendrick, new Schoolboy, like all these different things, like just a whiteboard or a blackboard that had like all these releases that
they had to get the slots ready,
and nobody believed him.
That the Kendrick thing was coming out?
No, that any of that shit was coming out at that time. So he's like, all right, y'all don't believe me? Okay, sometime in the next week, I'm going to drop an unknown project from a random project from a random rapper and like on a random day, and y'all are never gonna know it. And the album that came out was
fucking Kendrick.
It was fucking Kendrick.
Whoa.
Everybody lost their shit. It was wonderful.
Because that could have easily just been like some super no-name rapper. Yeah, it's just like, oh shit, they launched Big Boy.
Lil B. Well, he's actually good.
Shit, fucking Big Boy Tapioca is dropping his new
Big Boy Tapioca. What would Big Boy Tapioca's? What would a Big Boy Tapioca verse be like? What would he sound like? No. I already don't want to hear that. At all. All right, we're never doing that again. Sorry. We're never doing that again.
We had this. I kind of did this bit on the last episode. You haven't heard it yet because it's not out at the time of this recording.
It's not out.
But we were talking about rap last time, and I had some sick beats. That's definitely getting the sick beat over it. But
great, thank God. That's just what the podcast.
Big Boy Tapioca. He's gonna be
Tapioca.
Just you wait.
Oh fuck me.
Jack and I are gonna have our NSP Star Bomb thing going on.
No, we're not. Those are dope though.
Speaking of NSP, he's coming. They are coming to Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah, in June.
Ooh.
It's their first national tour.
I'm so happy.
So
I haven't been up to date on my Ninja Sex Party, man.
I haven't really either. They had one music video, which I think it was 6969, and they were like, we've been working months on this. Like, this is insane. Wow. And like, it came out, nobody gave a shit.
Oh.
I was like kind of sad, but like the music video was so Ninja Sex Party, that's who NSP is, by the way. Yes. Like this music, most of their music videos are like intentionally corny. It's supposed to be like, wow, it looks like there's like a minute on this.
Incredible for that.
Yeah, it's like funny. But this one, like there was like a bunch of production value, and it keeps the same like high-end, low-budget kind of thing.
Really?
But it was like they were trying really hard, and it just didn't work for me. Like it was and like it wasn't funny enough. Also. But
poor NSP.
I don't know. I'd like to see them when they come in town. They're going to be at the Tabernacle.
Ooh,
so that'd be cool.
Speaking of missed the mark, have you seen the new Pepsi ad campaign? Have you seen the new Pepsi ad? Oh my God, you haven't seen the new Pepsi ad. Oh my God.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
No, it's okay. I don't either. It's like some online ad that they released. Okay. It's like 2.5 minutes long. And I'll try and describe it to you. And then I think I want to have you watch it. And then
Drew reacts
to So it's this Pepsi advertisement starring like
is it on YouTube? It's like on YouTube?
I believe so.
Kendall Jenner,
Kylie. I don't know which one it is. I don't really care, frankly, but it's one of the Jenner girls, right? And in short, it's trying to solve police brutality with Pepsi. It's hard to explain.
Wait.
I want you to guess what the ad is like first.
Well,
and
okay.
then, given that line,
I'm gonna guess from the Pepsi exec's perspective.
Yeah.
He was like, "What's the most famous ad of all time?"
Right.
The Coke ad where they're all holding hands singing, I'd like to buy the world a Coke, and that's what just went to.
Okay, sure.
But no, it's like a really famous ad. They're all it's people from all races, and this was like in the 80s or 70s when they released it. So it was like a really happy, feel good song.
Okay. Oh wow, yeah. Okay, you're getting warmer. You're getting warmer with the new ad.
And so they do it, and it's like, wow, it's great. Coke brings people together because everybody loves that good old cola taste.
Cocaine.
Good old pop.
Good old cocaine.
And so I'm gonna guess they're kind of like, okay, well, let's like just get random ass people. Let's get the biggest, hottest sensation.
You're right.
Kendall Jenner.
You're right.
Let's have her sit down.
So it is Kendall. It's not Kylie.
Yeah, it's Kendall. I pulled it up. I haven't watched it yet, but it's Kendall Jenner.
Yeah, good.
Based on the one thumbnail I see, I'm gonna guess she's sitting down with some cops, or she's sitting down with some victims of police brutality.
She doesn't. Okay.
No, this is my thing, Jack.
Okay,
it's just like, hey. Do you hate cops, right? And they're like, fuck the pigs. and then all of a sudden he says, well, Barry? No. And then this cop comes out, and he's got a Pepsi Max in his hand, and he goes,
Pepsi Max!
Antoine, I want to give you this Pepsi.
Oh, no.
And then they go, dude, I don't hate cops.
I don't hate cops no more.
And then they all hug, and they sing a song.
I don't hate cops no more. Holy shit, okay.
So you're telling me that's not what it is?
That's not. That in a nutshell is what it is, all right? That's basically...
The message is the same, but the way it's conveyed is differently.
But I want you to watch the ad, and I want us to discuss it.
Okay.
Because I think it's an interesting ad. So how we're gonna do this, huh?
So here's what we're gonna do.
Give you live.
We're gonna break. Take 5.
We're gonna take 5.
And you're gonna come back. At this time, we're gonna recommend you pause the video and you watch it.
You watch it.
It's like our own book club that we got. It's a little 2.5 minute book club.
This is a new segment we call Commercial Club. With Drew and Jack.
So pause the video now.
Ooh.
Okay, welcome back. We are gonna watch the video, and I've been told it's shit, and I've watched it once, and I wasn't gonna talk about it because this is nothing, Jack, dead end. This is not a dead end.
It's not a dead end.
This is something very much worth bringing our attention to.
Jesus Christ.
So we're gonna pull up this advertisement. Goes up on the screen. Get that crack sound effect from there.
Yes, dope.
Ready? Wait. Oh, hit the button. Wait, no. We're not starting.
They already cracked.
Ready?
All right.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Go. All right. Edgy ass cello dude.
Overhead shot. That costs half the budget of the rest of it.
Look at how sweaty.
He's fucking into it. And look at all these.
He broke resin on his boat.
Multi-ethnic crowd. That guy's
black guy.
Islamic. She's probably Islamic too.
She's wearing.
Oh, look at those people kissing.
Kissing.
That's gross.
That's disgusting.
She's
got all these photos.
She's drawing on photos.
Oh, there's Kendall.
Kendall's God.
How pretty.
Flawless skin.
Jesus Christ.
Looks great.
I'd wear it. Now, we've got she's having a photo shoot right in front of a fucking protest.
And she's like, God, they're getting my light.
She's like, Jesus Christ, they're really not helping the lighting.
And then Asian dude is I forgot, I love Pepsi. And look at that.
He's like, I should do something.
It's a black can. Is that Black Lives Matter?
Yes, okay. Black cans matter. No.
Look at that artsy shot for no reason. And we're back.
Watch this.
Fuck this.
Jesus Christ.
I'm so uninspired.
Jesus
Christ. You know what? This is what I gotta do.
I've gotta take up my camera and I've gotta take pictures of shit because that helps a lot.
There are a lot of attractive people out here.
Oh, look at the
Asian
drummer,
people, Asian band,
the celloist.
Look at them
dancers,
going out.
They're hip dancers. Look at them playing music. Look at them. Look at this art being expressed. Look at this culture being expressed.
Wow. It's by the way, this is not diegetic music that they're being played.
It's just.
Oh shit! Kendall knows what's up now. She's like, what?
Shit. She's woke. What? She's woke, y'all.
Maybe there's not a line at the McDonald's. There's a
Pepsi.
There's a
protest.
and whoa! What?
She did.
I thought she was a natural blonde.
But nope.
Fuck these guys. Fuck the pigs.
Look at all these people.
And
look at all these inclusive people.
Look, she's one of them. She's just like anybody else.
Grabs a Pepsi.
She likes Pepsi too. Look at that. That black guy doesn't even know her. Gave her a fist bump. They're in.
All right, so we've got the hard ass looking cops, right? And she walks up to the cop.
She sees that attractive young cop.
She walks up to the cop and she goes, "Take this Pepsi and take me." And then the cop is like, "I just want the Pepsi.
I'm more of a Coke guy, actually."
And then watch it.
He drank it. Wow.
Oh,
and then Kendall's like, "Ew, gross boy." Just goes back to the crowd.
And then
they're happy. They're hugging.
Brutality.
She did not look into that hug.
Wow.
Kendall's having a great time. Cop's like, fuck dude.
Fuck it.
That's a famous person.
All right.
Kendall's having a great time. And
hey, live bolder. Live louder. Live.
And if always live for now. Pepsi. Truly a pioneer in the soda industry.
So I'm really glad that we witnessed that advertisement, because it has its flaws.
No. I would like to counter that point.
It's perfect.
So we're in Atlanta.
Oh my god.
We like Coke. Coke is good.
Fuck Pepsi.
Coke's really good.
Fuck Pepsi.
Pepsi's bad.
Forbidden.
Except for when they sponsor this podcast.
Sponsored by Pepsi.
Pepsi. For when you
Pepsi Man. Have you heard about that game? That game is incredible. Pepsi Man. Have you never heard of Pepsi?
Oh yeah, Pepsi Man. Fuck Pepsi. It's sponsored by Pepsi Man.
We're sponsored by Pepsi Man, the video game.
Sponsored by Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Fuck it. Everybody play Pepsi Man. Anyway.
Everyone play Pepsi Man, please. Jesus Christ. For the PS1. Oh, god damn.
So,
regardless.
So, where to begin, Jack?
So, I mean, okay. Obviously, like, there's so they just took whatever the fuck is popular right now. All right.
Hating pigs.
All right. Fuck cops.
Fuck the fuzz, man.
Fuck cops. Peaceful protests.
A
Jenner's in there. Transgender people. Gay people. Transgender.
That's Bruce.
Fuck. Oh,
that joke's had to be made before,
I'm
right?
sure it has been. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's really trying to take everything that's popular right now in 2017 and just being like, hey, Pepsi's in on it, y'all. But no, Pepsi's exploiting all of that rather than using it.
So a couple things about that.
Here's me hearing my postulates.
First of all, for an ad that's really trying to be like, hey, guys, stop the hate, stop the violence, love everybody. Ugh. It focuses a lot on, look how fucking awesome Kendall Jenner is. Yeah. And look how fucking awesome Pepsi is. And
I don't know.
It's very much up its own ass, you know? It's
not self-aware. Yes, I agree.
It's not like, I mean, a better director or a better ad might have had, like, people drink, like, two guys across the way, like, guys drinking Pepsi, other guys drinking Pepsi, and they're like,
and then they make out because they're gay.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, just like something a little bit more subtle,
right?
Instead of having, okay, so first of all, you got Kendall Jenner, who's probably like, you know, the media could think I'm all about my own ass, and everybody thinks that all I want is all these likes and that I'm just famous. But no, Kendall expertly uses this opportunity to say, you know what? I care about cops. I care about issues like this. And so you know what? Now I'm convinced. Kendall Jenner, she doesn't have a publicity team. She doesn't have PR. She just loves cops. She saw a hot cop. She's like, I'm gonna give you a fucking Pepsi. You look thirsty. You've been standing out there all day. Also, why were the cops standing out there?
I don't know. They were like celebrate. They were like cheering, and then they were like cheering at the cops, even though they weren't advancing towards the cops.
Okay, so the pro team said, join the conversation.
Yeah.
And they're all like these people, and this like you had a lovely lesbian couple in there.
Right.
You had
I believe there was a transgender person. They had like a montage shot of the inclusive people.
And then you have people of all religions, all ethnicities in there.
Hijab.
Hijab photographer who all of a sudden realized her photography is ass. She's so bad at photography.
It's a new band name, Hijab photographer.
So like they're peacefully marching. Kind of for the cops,
I guess.
But the cops are like, no, you can't be.
No, the cops are like, no, we're fucking serious, bro.
Sorry, we need to drive our nice fancy cop cars up here.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, and then
young attractive cop. 5 o'clock shadow.
But you know it's okay because one Pepsi to one cop changed the world. One cop
so
got
much.
a Pepsi. But no, Jack, no, Drew. It's about what it symbolizes.
No, yeah,
it's
it's
about
the symbolism,
how
not the
everybody
Pepsi.
can be together and how that's the first step. Well, maybe I wouldn't have stopped the ad right there. Maybe have everybody goes up and gives the cop something.
don't know.
Instead of just having like, hey, Kendall
Pepsi.
Jenner, the real good person in this scenario.
That's right, not the fucking transgender people.
Kendall Jenner stopped her photo shoot. Kendall Jenner went out of her way, chose the best soft drink in the world, and then she went up, and she was the one who went up to a cop.
Oh God.
And then it ends.
Not the transgender.
Yeah, I know.
Not the gay
Exactly.
people.
And then the cops are still standing there.
Oh God.
And then the people cheer.
I guess
Because
nothing happened. Nothing happened. Yeah, they're celebrating it like it's
hey.
poorly. It was too long. They dragged out too many.
By God, that Asian cellist.
I was about to say
He changed the world.
The beginning cellist guy.
Because he got that one black dancer to dab.
That's what I'm saying. He dabbed and hit the fox, which is just disgusting. Like, oh my God. Like, there's a very famous Apple ad where it came out in
1984.
It came out in the year 1984, and it's like this strong female running with a hammer, throwing it at the screen of
shattering that glass
against
ceiling
against the PC, and it's very beautifully. It was done by I think Ridley Scott. Like I think it was done by the director of Alien. It was a famous director who did it, and it was like a mess. It was more than it was more than just about Apple. It was clearly putting the idea ahead of the brand.
It was really clever because you could interpret it to mean like, oh, the Mac's coming out.
Right.
But on the other hand, you could also be like, oh,
we're a generation.
Like female empowerment.
Yes, that too.
And so it worked well on both levels. And this one's just kind of like...
This one's just like, let's just throw everything at it.
Do you know what the point is? I don't think you understand the point. By the way, we got a really famous person to do this. And
we're going to, not power to them, power to the famous person and our brand.
Exactly.
They put, again, in the Apple ad, they put the idea over the brand, rather in this one, they put the brand over the idea.
That's a really good point because you have this horde of people protesting.
Horde.
And they didn't get shit done, apparently.
No.
It took Pepsi and Kendall Jenner to change the world.
Oh, my Lord.
God, fuck that. God.
I'm so glad. And you know what I'm really glad, why I'm glad, is our generation's reacting to it like we are, which is fuck that ad. Yeah. Clearly they were trying to get a positive response out of our generation, which I guess is fine.
I mean,
and what if most of our generation was like, oh, that's great.
Woo. Okay, we're a really cynical generation.
Oh my God, we will shit talk
anything. If we can, we will. But
holy shit.
Basically,
wonderful.
And this ad, I'm not going to shit on it too much because its heart's in the right place.
They tried.
They could have just been like,
they tried.
They could have been just like, hey, Kendall Jenner's in it. She's holding a Pepsi can.
We're done.
Pepsi.
Pepsi.
But no, they were like, hey, let's try and do something positive. And then it just kind of came across really flat and came like Pepsi.
Like Pepsi.
We did it!
Oh my God, we're done. We're done. Get up. We're done. We're done.
But no, it was.
Oh my God.
They tried something. It didn't work. Coke still has the better.
Yeah, I was about to say.
The better ad.
Coke is just like,
they're like,
Coke is just like, fuck Pepsi. They got it wrong.
It's like, nice try, younger brother. Now it's let's give it back to us.
Oh my God! Apparently Pepsi wanted to call itself the Cola at one point.
Cola.
The Cola. That's a great.
That's cool.
That's a good bit by Gary Coleman or Gary
Oldman.
No, he's not a comedian. No, I can't even remember his name right now. Very famous, very funny comedian.
Well, one of the famous people like Ed. Gary. It's Gary. It's just Gary.
Ed. Same thing.
Gary man.
Fucking he was just like Pepsi was trying to call itself the Cola, and if I were called by a drink, right? If a drink left a message on my voicemail and it said "call me back," it's the Cola. I'd call back Coke. I would not call back Pepsi as the whatever.
Yeah. No. That's a funny way of looking at it because that would have been you can see the advertisement Pepsi. The Cola. It's kind of like being
and
a douche.
Coke's just like, what the
It's like being a douchebag in high school and being like, "Hey, what's up, Stan?" No. I ain't Stan. I'm the man. Call me the man now.
Dude.
Call me the dude Arena. And then you go. And then you go over to your good pal Ted, who's a great guy. He's class president. You go, Ted,
you're no longer the
I don't like
man.
Stan. Let's not hang out with Stan anymore.
I have an uncle who we just call Uncle Dude. He's been Uncle Dude since my childhood. I thought his first name was Dude for a while. They called it like
Mr. Lebowski?
No. It was way before the Big Lebowski. Like it was in the 60s.
He's been outduding the dude.
How can you outdude the dude? Can you do the dude?
You got to
by Mountain Dew.
You got to do the dude. Do the dude.
New sponsor. No, that's my favorite Pepsi beverage.
If definitely. If Mountain Dew decides to add campaign about pro gays, just do the dude. Do the dude.
Do the dude. That's just terrible. That's fucking horrible. But my uncle apparently randomly at a party when my uncle was in high school, he just said somebody just said like, God, you are the dude, and everybody was like, yeah. Everybody called him dude. Everyone calls him dude. His real name is Mark. Everybody calls him dude.
But Mark's boring.
Seriously, yeah. Every single person calls him dude.
Okay,
I thought that was so cool.
Why that works is because that was somebody else who pointed at to him, and everybody was like,
it's true.
You know what? Mark is the fucking dude.
Everyone's like, yeah, fuck yeah.
But when you go, hey,
call me the dude.
I'm the cola. I'm the cola now.
Gross.
I'm the cola now. It's
How terrible.
You can't pull a Chad Ochocinco.
Oh yeah.
The only reason that worked is because he got it legally ramified.
He changed his name.
Yeah, it's officially Chad Ochocinco.
What was his name before?
It was like Chad Johnson or something like that. And then he made it Chad Ocho, and then he made it Chad Ochocinco because I think he changed his number or something like that.
Oh my god. Muhammad Ali wasn't Muhammad Ali for a very long time. He was Cassius Clay. Very famous, like in the 50s, he was Cassius Clay. I can't remember when I don't know if he converted to Islam necessarily or had an Islamic experience or something.
It was Chad Johnson. That was a joke. It's actually, but yeah, Chad Ochocinco Johnson. That's now his.
What the hell?
Oh, apparently he got made fun of too much. So now Chad Ochocinco Johnson. So Ochocinco is his middle name.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Wow.
How
about that?
I'm gonna go to ochocinco.com.
That's a website. All right. What can we find on ochocinco.com?
Well, the first picture is of Chad Ochocinco hitting up a blunt.
Sure. Holy shit! What a fucking OG! Jesus Christ.
So that's cool.
Wow, that's a good message for the kids. That's a good former NFL star hitting the blunt. Just like fuck yeah, kids, do drugs.
That's enough about Chad.
I was about to say do weed like an idiot. God, that's funny. Wow. So we learned a lot. So Pepsi, we
don't get to that salt.
Don't try. That's true. Don't try and just pander to millennials.
If you're gonna do it, at least have like a couple people check it first.
That's honestly that's another point. Like, okay, that ad, like the idea had to be created by marketing, right? That had to go all the way up the chain, like to be like, yes, yeah, you do this.
Well, okay,
and then
that seems like one of those things that like
they just spend so much money.
The CEO was like, I'm so tired of all this police brutality.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's do something about
it. What are the kids talking about these days?
It's like, I want a police brutality ad, but I also want a dab in there. And that Kendall Jenner lady? She's a real fox. Let's get her in it.
She's a looker.
And then the head of advertising kind of looked at him and was like,
he was like, you sure?
He was like, oh fuck, this is we are gonna get such flack from this. But you know what? It happened, and
Jesus.
They sponsored us.
And they sponsored.
I know, Pepsi Man. Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man. Oh, god damn. Pepsi Man. Ugh. Fucking Pepsi Man. I guess that's another example of trying to pander to children and failing, but it's funny.
Okay, so Pepsi Man, there was a time in the late 90s to early 2000s, I'd say, where, what was the new craze? Video games. And so what they started doing is that people started putting their brand onto things. So that's when you get games like Pepsi Man. There was there used to be in like some cereal boxes, you just get like a video game and you'd play a video game. There's like Chester the Cheetah from Cheetos, his like radical adventure. There's 7-Up had a game.
Where
like
really?
the red dot in the background of 7-Up
Oh no.
was who you played as. A red dot.
A fucking red. Oh
Yeah,
my
like
God. That's so
here I'll
disgusting.
put up a picture of the 7-Up dot, dude.
It's just so fucking disgusting.
It's just all this. It kind of baffles me how
Yes.
it's called Cool Spot, the video game.
Cool spot.
Cool Spot,
Oh my God.
and it's just this red dot with
I've
glasses.
seen that. I've seen that shit
It's a
before.
red dot with
I've seen that
sunglasses.
shit. Oh my God, that's
And
terrible.
so you can identify that it's like, oh, it's fucking, it's a red dot and it's a
Jesus.
platformer.
Yeah,
No, that's
man.
supposed to be the 7-Up dot.
Oh no.
They made a second game. Spot Goes to Hollywood.
Spot.
And
Why?
So there's Spot the video game, which came out in 1990. Spot Goes to Hollywood in 1995,
Oh,
and
so-
Cool Spot
so
in 1993.
Horrendous. Oh my God.
Man, I'm happy we don't have. I'm happy I'm happy video games have their own icons. I'm happy there's
Yeah.
a Link. I'm happy there's a Mario. I'm happy there's a Sonic.
And that there's not.
That there's not Ronald
I was
McDonald
about to say. Yeah. I was about to
in
say,
Uncharted. Wow.
like. I mean, although technically they are brand mascots, they didn't start out as trying to promote the Nintendo brand. They started out as their own characters.
It wasn't jumping on a bandwagon. They had to make their own wagon,
Yeah,
and they had to
they
fucking.
constructed the wagon.
They actually had to make good content.
Oh my lord, no, that's wild. I wish I was around when video games began. Like that.
I talked to my dad about this, and
Oh,
he said
really?
he remembered when the NES came out.
Oh shit.
And he said people in his college, I think he was in college, or he knew people who were in
Right,
college.
yeah.
And he said only the nerds had that shit.
Oh, that's funny.
Because nobody had it.
Yeah, my physics teacher talked about how when he was in college in the 70s, his friend came running into the room and was like, guys, the internet is this thing, and went on to explain what the internet was, and all of his friends were just like, that's not gonna catch on. Himself included. It was at Georgia Tech, so it was king of the nerds, didn't care. But most of them were nerds, but most of them were just there's this crazy thing called the internet, and look at what how we're reaching.
Well, Jack,
now.
here's a question. So
Right.
Georgia Tech and
Shoot.
tech places,
Right.
when I think that's nerd colleges, right?
Mostly.
But when I think of, I guess nerd culture's kind of changed because at that time it would have been he's a scientist,
It would have been
or
it would have been
he's bad at.
these are nerds.
He's like, oh, he doesn't like sports, right? But now,
Well, we've
and then video games came out, and then it was oh, he likes video games, and he likes computers,
Now everybody likes video games.
and now it's just kind of you're a nerd because
The definition
you
of nerd,
call yourself a
the
nerd.
definition of nerd has expanded just almost exponentially over the past
It's not something you're ashamed to be called of.
No, God, no. I don't know. I compare it to the hipster movement because hipster, or I guess more counterculture. So countercultural. Oh God, wow.
Counterculture.
We
need the big
for the
red
earlier-
ball at the bottom of
right.
the screen.
For the earlier part of the 20th century was, I don't want to say non-existent. It was just certainly the minority, right? It wasn't really popular. You weren't making a lot of money saying fuck the government, fuck everything. You were making a lot of money saying the government's doing great and our country's looking up and everything's going great.
Excellent job, Mr. Reagan.
Excellent job, Reagan. That's later, but yeah, So the 60s, as I don't know, deceit increased. It's just summary of the 60s. Everything changed, and it suddenly the counterculture became the culture, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There was a weird reversal of what was legitimate, what was genuine, what was cool to be, what was the movement, and so now with the hipster culture.
What decade are we talking about there?
60s mostly for counterculture.
Okay,
the 60s is when it began.
So it flipped from drugs to
fuck the government.
comic books,
Oh yeah.
technology.
It's hard to summarize. I'm also very tired, so I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. But I mean, counterculture became the culture. Businesses tacked on to it and were yeah, fuck the government, but buy our shit to say fuck the government. Buy our pitchforks.
Excellent companies like Pepsi.
So Pepsi! It's full circle. Yeah, and then and so with the hipster movement, recently, this millennium, I'm talking so hipsters used to be really big on genuineness and I only buy from older brands, I'm wearing a goddamn Patagonia shirt.
I want an American-made, local,
Exactly,
no corporate bullshit.
Microbrew.
Yeah.
And now businesses seem to be hopping on that trend of being no, we're genuine. We've been here forever, even though they were established in 2007. They're trying to. So now hipster culture becomes the main culture. Now, what is actually hipster culture?
Because they changed their whole, style and design.
Yeah.
Like if you go into a Caribou,
Yes.
you're like, oh, this is a lovely little family-owned
nice.
mom and pop place.
This isn't counterculture.
And then you realize, oh wait, it's one of those top coffee industries behind
Nice.
Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts.
It's wild, man. It's just what is actually hipster culture? What is hipster culture that's trying
you know what it is? You know what it is?
What's that?
It's kind of like your dad.
Yeah.
He finds out
just like my dad.
something, and then your dad starts using it, and you realize, oh, it's not cool anymore.
It's not cool anymore. Yeah, that's what's happening to. That's what's constantly happening.
Yeah.
In just pop culture in general, it's just
Because,
that used to be cool. Now it's not. So
if you think it's not cool when your dad does it, think about how uncool it is when fucking multi-billion-dollar corporations are using it.
Therein lies Pepsi. Just it's this weird cycle that keeps going. Like what things are coming back into style, what things are I don't know. Especially right now, we're in a weird place where a little bit of every culture is in right now, quote unquote. Like a little piece of say fashion, like a little bit.
Now
of each.
where it's kind of like there's been a big uprising in individuality.
Yeah.
Be who you want to be.
Yeah.
And if you like being, into goth, and you also happen to be transsexual, and you also happen to like My Little Pony.
Be you.
Fucking awesome, man.
Be you.
Proud of you, Daryl. But that if you're also like, I like being preppy, and I like boys and girls and everybody, and then they're like, great, Francis, you be you.
Way to go, Dale.
I mean, and honestly, that's kind of the way it should be. I think.
Because just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a social norm.
No, I agree. No, there is.
Unless that social norm is being who you want to be, then fuck you.
It's hard. Wow. It's hard. It's hard to pin down mid to late 2010s culture right now. Like what early 2000s culture looked like. You know what 90s culture looked like. You know what 80s culture.
I mean, I would
Our
argue that
there's a mishmash of a bunch of different things that are occurring.
I would argue that there are stereotypes of those cultures. Because there's always like the nerd of that era.
That's
there's the
true.
jock of that
There's the
era.
different people.
Yeah, but like of this era, there's not like one like.
There's not one that's more important than the other. I think there's just one that history will look back on and be like, oh, that was clearly the
like the one like if I had to think of like give me a 21st century male dude, I'd probably think of like a bearded man. With like pretty like
it's funny the beard's
posh
coming back.
clothes.
Yeah, right.
And then maybe a pair of glasses.
It's like a flannel.
Yeah.
Some dark wash jeans.
Lumbersexual dude.
Lumbersexual. Just a bear. Do you know what a bear is?
Oh yeah.
It's like
I'm more of a fairy guy myself.
I'm more of a twink gentleman for myself. It's funny how beards have been coming back recently because like the reason pardon me, so like the late 1800s beards were huge, right? Like facial hair in general was like fuck yeah. Get that facial hair. Hell yeah. Like it was a sign of pride, right? That you could grow this extensive looking facial hair. And then with the I don't think it's Industrial Revolution. Yeah, Industrial Revolution. Was that turn of the century? Turn of the century.
Sure. That's one of the
fucking revolutions. Regardless, it became all right. This technology has improved. Shaving technology has improved. Like all this technology is just rapidly improving. Shave off all your shit. Use that technology. Don't get the beard, right?
But I would also argue before that in the 1600s, when you have like the Revolutionary period, you don't see a lot of beards back then.
Did you not?
George Washington, does he have a beard?
No, he doesn't have a beard. Yeah, I guess
people
they more had wigs.
It's just the style comes and goes. Like in like the Civil War era, it'd probably be like beards are cool.
That's what I'm saying.
And, I mean, also that kind of became a practicality thing. Like, hey, you want to carry another gun, or you want to carry fucking like shaving cream and shit?
No, I'll take gun.
And you're like,
That's funny. And it was, and like I don't know. And then I guess. Yeah, I guess, and then eventually, like, the trend shifted to, beards look unkept, and, like, beards are a sign that you don't know how to manage yourself, and so now suddenly everybody has to manicure themselves.
And then, no, I can't have that.
Now what we see we have been seeing in the latter half of the 20th century, again, with the counterculture, is beards are coming back. Beards are actually, like, a symbol,
a very well-kept beard.
A well-kept beard, mostly.
Well-trimmed,
not long,
well-stylized.
Yeah. But, like, it's funny how, like...
You know what are never in style?
What's that?
Mustaches. Mustaches, I don't think should ever be in...
I am okay with some... I want to grow one this summer. I'm gonna
grow a beard this summer. I've also found out I have little specks of red in my beard,
Ooh,
which is interesting.
That's so cute.
But
Lord.
I haven't shaved in a while. But also I don't know, mustaches, some people can pull them off phenomenally. Some people look like either pedophiles, young Mexican men, or
a white guy looks like a young Mexican man. I agree.
Or I mean, if you're gonna do it, you have to like have a style that accompanies it.
I agree.
I think hipsters with mustaches, that's not really my thing.
Really? I think one example of a well done mustache, at least if he does have a mustache right now. So Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, he's really
have a mustache?
Right now he's really on so Donald Glover's is one of these weird figures who like keeps shifting his aesthetic and shifting his persona and shifting all this shit in like the way in what he wears and how he behaves and all that shit. So with his new album that's like celebrated funk and celebrated like the 70s and like all these and a little bit of blues and shit like that, he's started wearing a more 70s oriented clothing and he started growing out a mustache with it, and I dig it. Personally.
So I'm looking at a picture of him now.
Hell yeah.
The way he's doing it, I like it because it's got the 5 o'clock shadow.
Yes.
And then it also has the mustache.
It's not just totally clean shave.
Yeah. And then it's funny because he's going to be playing Lando Calrissian.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Exactly. And that's exactly what he looks like. Like. I'm looking at a picture of him now. I'm like,
that?
Fuck yeah, that's Lando right there. Yeah.
No, maybe that's why he did it, so he could go back to that 70s aesthetic. Yeah. Nah, I'm big on 70s. I'm big on that.
Is that your favorite era?
No, I don't know. I don't have a favorite era because every era has good things about it.
Exactly. Like
every single one.
My favorite era for music, like the kind of music I listen to, is probably like late 90s.
Oh,
really? I just like that late 90s, early 2000s. Not talk about fucking boy band shit, but like
or ska.
But no, I'm talking like
you're not talking about ska.
I like Pacific Northwest kind of shit.
Right.
The more like
hipstery.
When DIY wasn't the norm.
Right. When that was like, why the fuck would you make a non-perfect album?
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a big push for like in the 80s.
It's when imperfection came back.
Right. No, in the 80s, I remember like drum machines like had these perfect snare sounds, perfect hi-hats.
It's kind of off-putting,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's wild how like we tried to strive for perfection and then suddenly we're like no, we don't want perfection anymore.
I would say that kind of music is made for the studio.
Yeah.
Like when like you wouldn't see them live. Like you'd see them live and you'd be like, wow, it's like
live.
It's like a worse version of what I've been hearing on the whatever. But then
there's a slightly less perfect version of perfection.
Yeah.
That's wild. No, it's my favorite. I've really started listening to like 70s stuff, soft rock, funk, disco, like a bunch of.
Give me examples.
Let's see. The song "Come and Get Your Love" by Redbone. That's that song in general. And I've been watching a lot more clips of
you talked about Steely Dan last
Steely
week.
Dan of this TV show called The Midnight Special that came out. That was really popular in the 70s, and it had all these. Look at the list of acts that it had on its show. It continued a little bit through the 80s, but it was primarily in the 70s. It had all of the famous artists of the 70s. It had fucking Steely Dan. It had fucking
Meatloaf.
It had Meatloaf. Hey, don't talk Meatloaf. Just looking up like the best-selling albums of all time. Meatloaf is in the top like 5, top 6, like. A Bat Out of Hell, his I don't want to say his debut album. I think it's a sophomore. I can't remember. It's one of the best-selling albums of all time. So don't fucking dog Meatloaf, bitch.
Okay, so I'm looking at Midnight Special. So it's like a bunch of
pop acts.
Guest stars that come on.
And yes,
it's kind of like the Ed Sullivan show of the 70s.
Yes, exactly. It's got ABBA. Had fucking.
I'm looking at the list now. Yeah. ABBA, AC/DC, Aerosmith, Beach Boys, Bee Gees, Chuck Berry, David Bowie.
Had everyone, man.
David Bowie was 70s.
David Bowie was 70s.
I've been getting into David Bowie.
Bowie's great. When he died, that's when I started getting into Bowie.
Same.
And he was just so good. Heroes is my favorite song.
That's my favorite Bowie song
Heroes
too.
Is my favorite. Heroes is my favorite song.
Oh, really?
Overall, it is my favorite song. Right now, at least.
It's been
it for like a year or 2 years.
So, I don't know how to explain this really, but there's a lot of when we were talking about imperfections earlier. There are these moments in songs where like a singer will have a voice crack or something, and just like really do it.
Tear up.
And to most people, it'll sound like,
what the fuck?
They should have taken another take or something.
Right, yeah.
But to me, that gives me chills. I'm like, that's when they're putting all their emotion into
obviously, you've heard "Gimme Shelter."
Yeah. Like
it's incredible.
One band I like a lot called The Microphones. I've shown
Right.
you. They have this one song called "You'll Be in the Air," and this guy he can't hit a high enough note, but he does it. And every time I go like, "Oh, that's good." And Heroes, when he goes up the octave,
Hi.
yeah. When he
wild.
does, when he does that, it's just so like, oh, like, oh, it's good.
What's interesting is so you listen to the audio recording of Heroes, and like
Part of the Berlin
sessions, his highly creative Berlin period. Anyways. You listen to that song and like it has the voice cracks and the imperfections because he had to yell into the microphone and stuff like that. The way they recorded it is wild. But I watched a live performance of it in the 70s, like when it was like number one, like when it was a hit. And like he can hit those notes perfectly fine. He just kind of, maybe it was due to the volume of his voice, maybe it was due to something, but when he's just singing with a microphone in his hand for a live performance, he hits them flawlessly. And it sounds good. It sounds good in a totally different way. And then he was going like even further up, like with his falsetto. Dude, he's a ridiculously good singer. If you have not listened to any of his shit,
Too soon.
Too soon.
Good actor too.
Dead. He was in Labyrinth.
He was.
Never seen Labyrinth. Never seen Labyrinth.
Jennifer Connelly's in
Jennifer
that.
Connelly.
He's a looker.
She is so pretty.
But he was also in Christopher Nolan film The Prestige.
Also Zoolander. He was in The Prestige?
Yeah, he was. He played Nikolai Tesla. He played Tesla, yeah.
What the hell is The Prestige about? I know nothing about The Prestige.
Fascinating movie.
Drew's
Nope, not yet. We're getting there. That'll be after this.
Nope. Teased it.
But anyway, The Prestige is about... Okay, Christopher Nolan, we talked about him another time.
Great director.
Really good. Inception, Memento, and The Prestige, films you should watch that are really good. The Prestige is about... you have two... magicians, Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman.
Okay.
And
I've heard of.
They're rival magicians. And basically, the plot is like, one will do this act, and everybody will be like, wow.
Right.
And they'll get all the audience. And so then the other one will kind of have to do it back at them to get it back over. But then they can't. But the thing about magic, it's not real.
Right.
There's always like.
When does this take place?
Ooh, like Victorian England.
Okay.
Or like
that helps.
Or like industrial era
that
England.
helps.
It's like early 1900s.
Okay.
And so it's basically like, how do they do the act of figuring it out? Because like magic's not real. Sorry, kids.
What?
But and it's really cool. And they meet Nikolai Tesla because Hugh Jackman says, "Hey."
Says hi.
No, he does a good English accent.
But
he is basically able to get Tesla to make a machine for him. I don't want to tell you what it does, because that's one of the twists of the movie.
Ooh.
But it's really fascinating,
right.
And then it's also kind of like how, hey, this one person who worked for Christian Bale, he's in love with Hugh Jackman, problems there, and it's really interesting. It's a movie that I was like, I don't really care.
Wow.
But then it came out, and I was like, oh fuck, what's happening? And then the twist happens. You're like, what? This is
Wow, how did he do it?
Like it's one of the, I really want to talk about it, but it's one of the. It changes the whole tone of the movie.
Ooh.
In like a way that's like.
Ooh.
It takes you a little bit to be like, okay, that's fucking stupid. Or you can be like, oh,
holy shit.
They're doing that?
Awful.
Yeah, I would watch it. Movie night.
Movie night. So now, let's have one final segment, and then we might put a button on this thing. Drew, I believe it's time for the movie minute. That's our theme.
All right, Drew's movie minute. Pull up that timer, Jack.
Oh, I'll pull up the timer.
Get it all ready.
We gotta.
Featured this week on Drew's movie minute.
What are we gonna talk about, Drew?
Drew watched 2 films this week. Lion, which was good, but I'm gonna we can talk about that briefly later. But the film I'm gonna focus on is The Swiss Army Man.
The Swiss Army Man,
which you might have heard us mention in the first or second episode. But I hadn't seen it at that time.
Excellent.
But now I've seen it. I'm gonna talk about it in 60 seconds or less.
Ready, set, go.
Okay, Swiss Army Man. You got Paul Dano plays this dude who's deserted on an island. They don't really explain how he gets there. And then Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, is a corpse, and he is magic. and it's kind of weird.
Wow.
And he gets on the corpse, and and so Paul Dano uses him to get off the island as he farts his way to the next place.
Oh.
A lot of fart jokes. It starts off obnoxious, but they can it like 20 minutes in, and you're cool with it.
Okay.
But it's all about how kind of Paul Dano is like he was gonna kill himself at the beginning of the movie.
Ooh.
But it's kind of like how he and Daniel Radcliffe starts coming more and more to life throughout the film.
Oh.
It's really interesting. Daniel Radcliffe does a really good job at being dead and being convincingly dead, and it's all about kind of falling in love. It's a brotherly kind of thing.
Oh.
Really good acting.
Okay.
There is some gay undertones in it, but it's not like done in a way that you're like, ew, gay. It's like it's a brotherly love that you can appreciate. That's all the time I got.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, I'd really
Wow.
I'd really recommend the movie.
Wow.
It's got one of the weirdest tones about it.
Yeah, I would believe it.
The music is awesome.
Is it?
It's
Good.
like
I've heard good things about it actually.
the music. It's like vocal jam kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Paul Dano sings in it, but Paul Dano actually has a good voice.
Oh really?
But
I don't even know who Paul Dano is, so. That's great.
He's a good actor.
Oh, yeah.
You should watch some of his
look
stuff.
up his face real quick.
He's got a really round face. It's that I don't like his face honestly, but he's a good actor. He's a good actor who I don't love the way he
I
looks.
don't like his face.
That's really mean, but
I've never heard of this guy. Cool. I mean, I'm glad.
but no, he does a good job in this. It's like they form a really cool relationship, and there's
he's in There Will Be Blood. Okay, I got
yeah,
you. I got
and
you.
he does some really absurdist things,
Good.
like the film does,
Right.
But it's not done in a way that you're like
That like alienates an audience.
it,
That,
it fits the tone,
okay. No, I'm glad.
and it's like super like doesn't really. You just got to turn off that suspension of disbelief,
Yeah.
or hence
Or rather,
turn that
turn it on.
Yeah,
Ooh.
you just gotta be like, this is supposed to be weird. It's got real heart behind it. It's got some really cool moments, and the ending, I was like, oh, this is it's kind of strange.
Oh, shit.
But it's a good movie. Check it out. And then the other
Check it
movie,
out.
Lion.
Lion.
Lion's about
all really
about
bad
Lion's about an Indian kid who gets lost and loses his family,
Aw.
and then he
I heard
goes
about
through the troubles of growing up
Right.
5 on the streets.
Right.
Cutest little boy. Cutest little Indian boy in the world.
Cute
And then
boy.
basically he gets adopted, grows up in Australia, and then he wants to find where he came from.
Cool.
It's an Oscar bait movie.
Right.
It's so
Yeah, we talked about that. So was Moonlight. So like
Yeah.
oh god, you can really tell when movies are trying to go for the Oscar.
it was going for it, and but get it aside. It does have the gut punch moments in it. Like there's this whole relationship with him and Rooney Mara, and it's just white girl, and you're like, okay, maybe we'll do something with it. It's a waste of time, I think. That's my biggest flaw with the movie. But once it focuses on him kind of like, I gotta find out where I came from. And then there's this one sequence which is really awesome of him like using Google Earth to find where he came from based on like memories he has. And it cuts back and forth between
it's
that.
like Sherlock. It's
Yeah.
just a mind meld or whatever.
And then
Nice,
and then he finds his family. Spoiler. And it's
Whoa.
but it's really cool.
Good.
It's a good movie.
It's Oscar worthy.
I'm-
Sadly, no.
I'm happy it got the nomination and also happy it didn't win.
get the Oscar. Damn. That's hardcore.
yeah.
That's harsh right there.
Little Boy should have gotten Best Supporting Actor.
Oh.
Little Boy's fucking adorable.
Boy's fucking
I don't know what your name is, Little Boy, but keep doing you, kid.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I haven't watched any movies. I haven't watched any of them.
What's new?
I watched the scene from Akira where he like
The anime movie?
Yeah, the anime movie. Where he turns into this disgusting monster.
I
It's
haven't
a
watched
terrifying
that yet.
movie.
That's next on my list.
It's terrifying.
Because I watched the original 1995 Ghost in the Shell.
Oh yeah.
Because the
How did
remake
that go?
came out recently.
Oh, I got you.
Honestly, I didn't love it that much.
Oh, the original?
Yeah, the original 1995. But like people said, like one of the best anime movies of all time.
That's interesting.
I love the animation behind it, and I like the idea behind it. But it feels like 2 episodes of a TV show.
Oh, okay.
In the first episode, it's a good episode of a TV show. The second episode, it's kind of weird and gets too psychological in a way that doesn't really work for me, and I'm not really invested. The characters, I don't really get invested in the characters.
Okay.
It's too short. It's cool world, cool ideas in it,
Right.
but just the way it's done, I'm just kind of like, I don't know.
Right.
That was kind of what Blade Runner was to me. Cool ideas, cool world, cool action scenes. But once it gets to it...
But you've seen Blade Runner?
Yeah.
The original?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
The new one's coming out. Which
I was about to say, they're revamping it.
I've got high hopes for it.
Yeah,
because it's
I
got
hope so.
Harrison Ford's coming back.
It's got Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. I love Ryan Reynolds, dude.
is the shit, dude. Well, we've been here a while, haven't we, Drew?
It's been about hour and 5, 10, 15. Keep rounding
2 hours.
up.
2 hours. 2 hours. We've been here for 4 hours. How wild is that?
And it's only felt like 4.
It's only felt like, yeah. Yes. God, I had a stroke. I'm sorry.
Jack,
Yes?
what have we learned today?
What have we learned today?
What have we learned?
Well, we've learned that Ryan Reynolds is a really cool guy.
Super cool guy. Really cool guy.
We've also learned that Pepsi is Hitler.
Yeah. But they have a great game. Pepsi Man sponsor!
Pepsi Man!
Everyone buy PlayStation 1 so you can go bake pep-boo.
We also learned that Drew never uses iTunes, and I recently...
we forgot to go over mine.
We forgot to go over your iTunes. Drew, real quick, rapid fire. What's the most recent thing you have added to your iTunes? Go.
I got a song called The Balancing Act by Cool Hand Luke, and then I got the most recent Radiohead album, Moonshaped Pool.
Dank.
That's it.
That's it, ladies
What
and
else have
gentlemen.
we learned?
What else have we learned?
We talked at least 20 minutes about the Pepsi ad.
About the Pepsi ad. So many goddamn things, man.
Decades are cool.
Things
that are cool become uncool, and then those uncool things become cool
again. Culture is bullshit.
And that mentality will become bullshit soon.
That mentality, yeah. Fuck culture, but culture is good, but also fuck culture.
Hey, just be a conformist. You're going to do it anyways.
Be like everyone.
And right now, being like everyone is being like you.
But then,
so be like you in the most you way that everyone can be.
Good night, y'all.